Ba da ba da ba ba boo da bee. Boo boo doo doo da ba bee. We are gonna talk about some shows. We are gonna talk about some shows.
Hey everybody, we are Screen Sisters. I am Angela,
I'm Stephanie.
and we are going to talk about. I did like that the finale connected Armageddon to the overall story of what was happening, and that we got to see how Armageddon officially ended. So I did like that aspect of it. We saw a little bit of the Flash family come back together, most of the Flash family. I was really hoping that Iris was going to get she was just going to be a speedster from here on out, because I feel like that's what I really want. But she did reignite the spark, so I can't be mad at that. I also really loved their Power Rangers entrance on the street, because as soon as I saw them do that, I immediately yelled Power Rangers.
I think I just want to see more Flash. I want to see more Iris in general. I really, 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 really miss Cisco, and I still, I don't know. Like, I was really excited for the Deathstorm story arc, but that was what, 2 episodes?
Yeah.
I feel like that could have been stretched just a little bit longer, just to have more time with Caitlin's character. And yeah, like I said, just think this whole season was just lacking Iris. Like, because she's usually in every episode, running stories, talking to Joe. Where is Joe? Like, they're giving so much screen time to Chester, Allegra, and Cecile, and like not enough screen time for me with Joe and Iris.
Look, I feel like Cecile and Joe had an off-screen breakup, and they're just not going to discuss it because they are spending little to no time together.
Well, I know he's making that other show, but I don't know how much of that time he has dedicated to the Flash, and I assume people are still doing different schedules because of COVID still. I also just want to say that Tom Cavanagh looked so uncomfortable in that black suit.
He did.
He looked stiff, and just like he looked like when someone's wearing something like that and you ask them to turn and they can't turn, so they go. So like they do that whole thing.
The Batman gif of him turning in the car.
The whole thing, even the ones from I think the Val Kilmer one and the Michael Keaton one, didn't they have weird like weird like those type things?
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you thought that Iris's temporal sickness was from the mirror dimension. What do you do?
Yeah, so at the very first episode, they're sitting on the couch together, Iris and Barry, and they're talking. Barry's basically saying how they've had no time together because they've just been so busy, and he was saying, he mentioned something briefly about her temporal sickness, and at first I was like, wait, is that the time sickness? Because I thought that didn't really start until they got in a couple of episodes into Armageddon. So I'm wondering if, because Thawne's life purpose is to destroy Barry Allen by any means necessary. So even if one plan doesn't work out, he has plan B, C through X, Y, and Z already planned out, and there's a roadmap there, whether or not he's hit the start of that yet.
Okay.
But I was just wondering if her temporal sickness was Thawne's way in to kind of implanting a time sickness in her, unless it was not that and she was just still healing from the mirror dimension, and the actual Armageddon event itself was when he was able to infect her.
Possible.
Yeah.
I just think I think Tom Cavanagh has done enough.
I agree.
Even if we got Matt Lesher back even for a little bit this season, I was really happy to see him.
So was I.
But it still ended up being Tom Cavanagh. And I know that season 1 and 2 and 3 where he was there, I think just made a lot of sense. They kept trying to find ways to bring him in. But now to keep making him Reverse Flash and Thawne and this negative whatever, I think it's just, I'm over it. I think just seeing Tom Cavanagh telling you, it was me, Barry. Yeah,
it's done to death.
Yeah, it's done to death. All right. Well, just I don't even know what to expect for season 9 besides that little thing at the end, which makes me think they're gonna go Blue Cobalt. But I don't know. I was reading some other
speaking into existence. They are going Blue Cobalt.
Reading some other rumors, they were thinking it could be something else. And also, what the F happened to Caitlin at the end of the episode? I'm thinking that I told you, I think it's her counterpart from season 2, Killer Frost from Earth 2. That's who I think it is inside of there, which would be funny. And who kind of cares anymore? There's the multiverse and the particles and the time sickness and all that nonsense. And I'm super excited if they bring Tanya back next season. And I want more Sue Dearborn.
Sue Dearborn, yeah.
I really like her on every episode she's in.
Yeah.
And I do want to see more. Allegra fighting.
Yeah.
I want to see her having her own kind of villains and foes. And even though we just got an episode where, she had a little backstory about how she was in the gang, I just, I still want some more. And it'd be nice to show like Allegra and Chester on a date.
Yeah.
Like something
rather
really
than just
sweet.
Constantly dancing around it.
And like talking about playing D&D, like, and all that stuff. So I would just really like to see them have their Barry and Iris moments or their Joe and Cecile moments.
Yeah.
That's about it. Anything else for The Flash?
Well, I mentioned to you before, everybody is leveling up. So, like, Barry's doing crazy shit we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Allegra's full binary. Cecile is kind of like
telepathic?
their grab bag of, they kind of just give her different...
Or no, telekinetic. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're kind of just, giving her different things as it seems to suit the plot. So...
yeah,
everybody's leveling up in their own way, and for me, that's an indication that we are heading towards the end. So I'm thinking next season.
Well, yeah, it would be nice if it made it to 10 seasons because I like even numbers.
Even to get to the vanishing of the Flash initially.
Because they can even do they can even do season 10 with like 8 episodes and then call it a day.
Yeah.
And then have it just be really, really, really intense, like Armageddon meets, one of the crises, just like super, super, super intense 8 episodes. And then, whatever.
And they must.
Yeah.
Bring back.
Yes.
Wally West.
Well, did you see what I sent you the other day? Like, they asked him to be in season 9 and he said he was too busy. And I was like.
Be unbusy a little.
I was just like, who told you to get a job? Your job is Wally West.
We're very happy about where you are in your career.
I know. I still need to watch that movie on Amazon Prime. Did you watch it yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet either.
Yeah.
I need to put it on. Alrighty. And we're done with The Flash?
I think so. I think we've spoken our piece about it. I want to say one more thing about The Flash. I like his children. I like his Force children.
Yeah.
And I want to see a little bit of more of them too. So even if I know that there's been like speculation that Bart and Nora would get their own spinoff, so I would hope that Barry's Force children would be on board with them, because I feel like that would be a nice little community of like Team Flash to have.
I can see that. But also I can see the show just ending and everybody going their separate ways.
True. Boys. Let's talk about the boys. I think once you put somebody on a clock, it's adds a clock to the overall thing, and now that we know that Butcher has created some
a baker
damage
and a candlestick maker,
has kind of created some irreversible damage to his body. I feel like the show is going to end after 5 seasons, but that's just me speculating because of Butcher's medical status. Anyway, I will never forgive the show, nor will I watch season 4 without my arm being twisted because of what y'all did to Black Noir.
Well, did you see what...
I hope he's still alive.
Did you see what someone said today online?
No. You can tell me.
Do you want to know the secret? I'm just kidding. There is no secret. This version of Black Noir is over. Black Noir is apparently a mantle. So someone might be Black Noir next season. Do you think they're gonna do the comics version of Black Noir?
I don't know the comics version of Black Noir.
You don't remember the comics version of Black Noir?
I don't know the comics version of Black Noir.
I told you 2 days ago. And I'm lying to you. I told you last night. I told you last night.
How many words have we said to each other between last night and now?
5,280.
And how many of those words do you think I retained?
10.
Accurate. Because Kevin Bacon was not in Footloose. Yeah, so Black Noir is a mantle, and it will be passed on.
Not so much a mantle will be passed on, but like, you know what I mean? Like, someone else could play him because it doesn't matter. He's covered up completely. So they're probably not going to announce that Black Noir died maybe next season.
Because the public doesn't know that he died. When What's-His-Face was found murdered on the rooftop, they said it was a drug overdose. And then when Maeve died, they gave her like a whole in memoriam thing, but they didn't do anything for Black Noir.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that he in fact is still alive. But if it is what you say it is, then I guess I'll accept that. But I just think this Black Noir deserved better.
Okay.
And I know I said like he deserved justice initially, but I guess he had his justice for 30 years. With Soldier Boy being locked up overseas. But I just kind of hate that at the beginning when they found out Soldier Boy was back and then Homelander pulled him aside and had that conversation with him, I thought there was like a genuine friendship there. So I think I was more upset at the fact that Homelander killed him so quickly, even though they had fought side by side for so many years. That's what he said to that's what he said to Black Noir, that he was the only person he really trusted or something, right?
And then he took his thing and left.
Yeah. And so I think that's just what's the most upsetting for me at that relationship.
I know the ending ended the way it did because Maeve wanted her fight. She wanted that fight.
She did. She was waiting for that.
She really wanted to fight him, and she made him know that she was like she was serious. I think it was great, but I still probably would have liked to see all of them tackle, him and Butcher and Homelander team up to take down Soldier Boy. I thought that would have been cool to see because we didn't see that much of it. Because even that scene where they both kind of looked at each other, I was just like, oh man.
I that's what I said. I called it. I said Butcher's gonna team up with Homelander to take out Soldier Boy.
But I was shocked that I don't remember what happened in that scene when Butcher left Ryan. What happened? I know it was a couple episodes ago.
So he blamed him for Becca's death, and Ryan got upset and threw off his necklace, took off his necklace and threw it at Butcher. Because, Butcher was already leaving upset about something anyway. I forget what it was. And then Ryan was asking him to stay, and he was pretty much like, you killed Becca. And, this little kid, he's never going to forgive himself already. But the one person that he genuinely kind of looked up to and that his mom cared about, I think he was seeking something in Butcher that Butcher couldn't give him.
I did like the overall kind of theme of the episode was just like how men deal with their trauma, how it affects their sons. I really like this scene of Frenchie talking to MM saying like, you are a whole person. She needs to see you as a whole person. And I thought that was interesting because a lot of kids right now whose parents had trauma, who never wanted them to know, but we get the passive aggressive behavior, we get the immature outbursts, we get all those things because they haven't processed and dealt with that shit either. So that was really smart for them to do. And I love to see when Huey was talking about his dad and strength. And that was really sweet. And then, you get the polar opposite with, Soldier Boy, Homelander, and Ryan. You just see like the other end of like trauma and fatherhood and how it's, those emotions are ancestrally just gonna keep going over and over and over.
Ryan smiling at the end and Todd cheering was 100,000% cringe, but all also 100% on the nose with where we are as a country.
Yeah. Okay. So I also don't think Victoria is all the way bad.
I don't think she's. Yeah.
I don't think she's all the way good either. So I feel like Yeah, so she's definitely planning something, which we obviously already know, but
she's playing
did
chess.
she tell Homelander to kill that guy? And then Homelander delegated? Because he was running for VP and and he died.
That was probably the quid pro quo because she gave him where his son was.
And the other thing too is when I think that whole thing with A-Train and his brother was so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad, and then you feel the pain because like his whole life has been about his brother. You know, I think that also is how they you know, everything didn't happen in any kind of order. Like they sprung, you know, Blue Hawk going to meet A-Train and in his neighborhood or whatever. They sprung that on him with no warning, no time for prep, and then you know, everything was so hostile because, you know, he was giving one of those stupid apologies that didn't matter. And it was just for press. And then when he realized that it wasn't just about, you know, the press and making himself look good, I think that's when A-Train kind of like was like, oh, like crap. And then it sucked that he didn't have his powers because he could have did something then. Yeah, and then just how he ended up getting Blue Hawk's heart. And I thought that would be so.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That was fucking that was sick.
Yeah, I thought that would have been something else too, like even something there, and even, you know, telling his brother, he's like, I'm about to get everything back, and his brother's like, I don't want anything, anything. And then when you just watch that scene, just like, can you imagine telling me that you never want to see me again?
No,
Brothers, man.
I can't imagine
that. That's, you know, it'd be like you and I doing that to each other. I could never, like those brothers.
Yeah.
Every day together, you know? I mean, it is like us, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just hard. So you just imagine the pain that A-Train's feeling because he, you know, tried to say, I'll make it right. I got him for you. And he was like, that means nothing. Yeah. Which, you know, sucks, but that's just how he felt.
Deep is still very much seeking approval, and I think A-Train is just more afraid of getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there will ever be a time where they are on the same page so that they can, do you think they will ever join the boys? Or even if not join the boys?
I personally would just prefer if the Deep died.
Yeah.
But, like, I love Chace Crawford. I love him playing him. I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
And I think they did a really good job with casting because before I watched this show, he was on a couple episodes of that show I really liked, Casual. But you know, I never saw Gossip Girl until last year.
Okay.
So
you watched the entire series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Angela, that show was like cringe. Like it was 50% cringe, 50% like, what? Like, just
what? No. So all of the heroes at Herogasm that were in contact but survived no longer have their powers, right?
It didn't even catch me that Maeve lost her power until she said a powerless schmuck. But how did that blast radius affect? Like, how many people did it affect?
Well, clearly, it didn't affect Deep or A-Train, but the blast happened right before Homelander showed up too. So
I'm talking. Are you talking about Herogasm?
Yeah.
I'm talking about last.
At
the
VOD?
finale. Yeah.
How does the blast radius work?
No, I know how blast radius work. I'm just saying, I didn't even realize that other people were infected until Maeve said, "I'm another powerless schmuck in the city." Mm. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I wonder if it affected anybody else. But maybe we'll know next season. I don't know.
Think so because they had evacuated the building, so that's
okay. Shut up.
What do you think became of Victoria's daughter?
We'll probably find out next season.
Yeah. Do you think she did it for the right reasons? She wanted to protect her daughter.
Yeah. When you're a parent, I think you make lots of decisions that you think make sense and some decisions that you don't make sense at all, but you do them anyway because you have a child. So
I'm just having deja vu right now.
About the time you had a child?
No. The other thing I wanted to
show me the baby.
Sometimes I feel bad for Ashley and sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Like, it's funny when I felt really bad for her, like, season 1, and then she kind of...
When she's not around Homelander, she's horrible.
Mm-hmm. But you notice she's been ripping her hair out for months or weeks or however time's supposed to have been gone. And it was funny when he said, take off your wig, and she said, what wig? And, like, the look on his face, he was like... Yeah, but...
I feel like her head would actually be scarred, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that everybody is doing a great job.
Yeah. We were saying that the cruelty of this show and complete disregard for the preservation of life makes us forgive Marvel for always choosing to be PG.
Mm-hmm.
And I stand by that. So even though I complain about Marvel being so lighthearted and not willing to go there, thank goodness
there we go.
Boys and Once Upon a Time, the DCEU. Oh, and then Annie deciding to officially leave. Thought she's not going to put on the costume. She's done with the image. She's just going to be a good person as Starlight and do the best that she can as her.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have that big romantic speech after she put her suit away, but I was just going like, oh, okay, so she put her suit away.
Can I tell you something? When she went binary in the season finale, in the series episode, the season finale, I thought of Midnight Special.
Okay.
Remember the light would come out of his eyes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it made me think of Midnight Special.
That movie was crazy.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
All right, love you, good night.
Oh, okay, see ya.
Bye.
Bye, thank you for watching our breakdown of The Flash and The Boys. That's it.
Yup. Bye.